Are you watching Current Issues? My name is Vineet Malhotra. Prime Minister Modi reshuffled his cabinet for the second time since coming to power. 19 new ministers have been inducted into the fold, and the question everyone is asking, what is the agenda? Is it the looming state elections, or is the PM cracking a whip and sending out a clear and cut message to his ministers to not live in the delusions of indispensability? Let's find out what our guests think, but before we introduce our guests, let's have a listen into this.
लड़ाई बहुजन समाज पार्टी का तो खाता नहीं लोकसभा में खुला, वो लड़ाई से बाहर है और अपने उसके आंतरिक कल पुर्जे बिखर रहे हैं। समाजवादी पार्टी से नहीं लड़ाई है, समाजवादी पार्टी के भ्रष्टाचार और गुंडागर्दी से वो पार्टी कहाँ, एक परिवार के अत्याचार और लूट खसोट से लड़ाई है, और उस लड़ाई में जनता बीजेपी के साथ है।
हम मिशन 2017 को सफल बनाएंगे और अपने उत्तर प्रदेश में सरकार बनाएंगे, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश की जो वर्तमान सरकार है, माननीय अखिलेश सरकार, वो भ्रष्टाचार में अखंड डूबी हुई कुशासन से जनता त्रस्त है और बड़ी ही आशा भरी निगाहों से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर देख रही है और हम सरकार बना जा रहे हैं।
जो भी आज गरीबी है, गांव-गांव में जाति के नाम पर और भी अत्याचार होते हैं, तो मैं दलित और सवर्णों को जोड़ने का काम करूंगा, दलितों का प्रोटेक्शन करने का मैं काम करूंगा, और दलितों को न्याय देते वक्त मैं किसी पर अन्याय करने की कोशिश नहीं करूंगा। सबको साथ लेकर हम आगे बढ़ने का काम करेंगे।
पार्टी और अपना दल का गठबंधन है, और गठबंधन के तहत जिस प्रकार से 2014 में हमने लोकसभा का चुनाव लड़ा था, उसी प्रकार से 2017 में हमारा प्रयास होगा कि दोनों सहयोगी दल मिलकर एक दूसरे की ताकत बने और हम एक और एक दो नहीं बल्कि एक और एक 11 की धमक के साथ उत्तर प्रदेश में सरकार बनाए।
मंत्री पद की शपथ हमने ले ली है। नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने मेरे ऊपर जिम्मेदारी देने का निर्णय लिया, और भारतवर्ष के जो अम्बेडकराइट लोग है, दलित लोग है, इतना ही नहीं तो मेरे जो सभी जाति वर्ग में जो मित्र है वो सबको खुश है। और मैं जरूर बाबा साहब का सपना भारत के संविधान के माध्यम से एकता और अखंडता मजबूत करने का मैं काम करूंगा।
जैसे प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं कि 21वीं सदी एशिया की होगी और एशिया में ही भारत की होगी, इसको हम अंजाम देने के लिए जो प्रधानमंत्री जी का निर्देश होगा, जो केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल का निर्देश होगा, उसके तहत हम कार्रवाई करते रहेंगे।
Okay, so let's straight away delve into the agenda of this cabinet reshuffle and introduce our guest who will be joining us on the show. We have Zafar Syed, spokesperson for the BJP, who's joining us. Sanjay Kapoor, editor, Hard News. He's with us today. Sanjay, thank you. And we have Rohan Gupta, spokesperson for the Congress, who's in the studio. Rohan, for the benefit of our viewers, let's start, with the Congress and ask you a question. Why do you think this reshuffle has taken place? Is it based on a need, or is it based on greed?
See, I think
greed to have more power all across our respected country.
See, I think what question you have asked me, this should have been asked to PM. That when any reshuffle is done, it is with some purpose. Right. Like today we have got one more jumla, like the PM has given one slogan of minimum government and maximum governance. Today exactly opposite has happened. So I am asking PM himself that you have given one promise to people that you will give minimum government with 79 ministers. What are you up to? Second, any reshuffle should have some purpose, like people who have not performed, who are not who have not been competent, they should be replaced with people who have done well or should be rewarded. None of this has happened in today's reshuffle.
So what you're saying, the reshuffle has happened without analyzing the performances, and it's based on probably, the elections which are going to happen next year.
One thing is
so
very sure.
What you're saying is that, they have been unfair to a few ministers.
See, I'm not talking fair or unfair. After 2.5 years of government, one thing they have realized that whatever promises they have made to people of India, they are not capable of fulfilling that.
Okay.
So they have no option but to be in election mode and take all the decisions from the perspective of coming election. That is what we have seen in today's reshuffle.
Okay, let's get a response from Zafar Syed. Sanjay, I'll come to you also for a journalistic perspective on this. Zafar Syed, you've heard what Rohan said, that this cabinet reshuffle probably serves no need. It is probably, just an eyewash, to let people know that we are prepping up, the BJP is prepping up, gearing up for, the slew of elections that are going to be held next year.
Well, nothing new in whatever the Congress spokesperson said. Is a rhetoric which all the Congress spokesperson are stating since morning, because they have absolutely nothing else to speak except the ignorance they are demonstrating in front of all the viewers. See, I'm just removing this because I'm not able to hear. Basically, the idea was of this expansion is to induct few new faces which are competent, which has the ability to deliver the agenda, the developmental agenda the government has, and the vision the Prime Minister Modi has for the new India.
Right.
I think the selection of these ministers have been done with only one objective, that these people are competent. But there are many other softer issues got addressed because of this when the selection was made. Like, for instance, the regional imbalance has been addressed. The regional imbalance have been addressed. The representation of the women have been also been addressed because two new women face have been addressed. Then you have also representation from the minority community. Mr. Akbar and Mr. Ahluwalia from the minority community have also been inducted in the ministry. Also, the Dalit face, this SC/ST faces have also been inducted. So, all in all, it's a wonderful initiative by the Honorable Prime Minister, keeping one objective, one focus very clear, that he has to have the expertise and the experience. So some very senior parliamentarians have been also been inducted, and some new young face like Anupriya Patel ji has also been inducted as the Council of Minister. But Congress, who doesn't understand what does it mean when the Honorable Prime Minister say minimum government, maximum governance. When he says, it doesn't mean that the less number of ministers should be there. There has to be people to execute the policy. But when we say minimum governance, minimum interference, like for instance, the attestation of self-attestation has been done away with.
Okay, Zafar, I have heard your opening remark. I have to go to Sanjay Kapoor now and get his perspective as well. Now, Sanjay, from what I read, that this was a very gruesome vetting process, and PM Modi was only interested in recruiting doers and performers who can deliver on his vision of development and priorities, which is Gaon, Garib and Kisan. Does this sound like, he had the UP elections or the Punjab elections in mind?
It is very difficult to figure out the people who have been selected, whether they have been selected on the basis of performance, because they've got no performance to show. I mean, how do you show that these people are the right ones to be chosen? And surely the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah had the coming elections in mind, especially in Uttar Pradesh, where I think a very concerted attempt is being made to garner support of the Dalits. So you look at the number of people from the scheduled caste community have come in. There are 3 of them, and
Sanjay,
UP especially has been
Sanjay,
targeted.
sorry to interject you, but we have a caller from Bulandshahr. Mr. Z Mehra is giving us a call from Bulandshahr. Mr. Mehra, go ahead. State your point.
What is wrong in expansion of this cabinet? It is a prerogative of the Prime Minister. Whatever he has done, it is very correct. And it is for the need of the requirement. If he has expanded the cabinet for seeing the state election, what is wrong in this? Well, he has to increase his cabinet, and he has to cover the full India. There is no any harm in doing this. It is very correct decision.
Okay, so the point is there is no harm in expanding your cabinet, and we have a representative of the Congress party in our studio. Rohan, I think it's best that you answer this question. He's saying it's basically it's practice, it's common practice to expand your cabinet. What is the problem that Congress sees in this, or is Congress so adept and eager to find loopholes in whatever BJP does, that they carry around a microscope wherever they go?
See, it's not question of finding loopholes. What I am talking is very simple, that PM has said something, and now today he is only coming back on that. Congress has not said that minimum government and maximum.
Okay,
let me finish. Okay. I'll just mention 2 points.
You can continue. I just want you to tell Zafar.
Zafar,
we'll come to you. Rohan, I want you to tell Zafar what did the PM say and what did he not do?
Yeah, see, Mr. Zafar, I clearly understand the details, and now thanks for explaining us the meaning of minimum government and maximum governance by saying that it is not related to numbers. Mr. Zafar made a point that they have inducted competent people. I agree with Sanjay. How have you made sure that these people are competent, others are not? Number 2, which of them you are talking about developmental agenda? Is Mr. Giriraj Singh following the developmental agenda? Is Smriti Irani following developmental agenda? Why no steps are taken against that? Yesterday PM has told that our agenda is not caste and religion, it is development, and today we see something different. So I am not against any reshuffle and all. I am just saying one thing, that if PM at his post says something, he must mean it. He should not speak it, but he should follow it. He doesn't like, or it is more of a larger than life picture to be projected for PM. He doesn't want independent voice. I am from Gujarat.
Let Zafar respond to that.
Just a small point. I am from Gujarat. There is this scheduled tribe minister was that Mansukh Wasawa. His mistake was simple, that he has spoken against CM Anandiben. We have seen in past Mr. Raghuram Rajan, a competent officer without any fault. So what are we talking about? What performance are we talking about? You are talking only about election agenda. This government has been in election mode and will be in election mode. There is no other agenda.
So what you're saying, the proclivity and the agenda behind expanding this cabinet was only keeping the elections which are going to happen next year. It has nothing to do with growth. It has nothing to do with Garibi Hatao and Kisan. Zafar, this is what Rohan is saying.
I must tell Mr. Rohan Gupta ji that I'm sure you are aware there are 73 MPs from Uttar Pradesh alone, and they are all from a part of NDA. Then going by your statement, then we should have given a huge representation to Uttar Pradesh, but that's not the case. There are 11, MPs from 11 states who have been inducted in the Council of Ministers. So whatever you are saying has absolutely no basis.
No, there are elections in Gujarat also next year.
Okay, Zafar and Rohan, just hold on to your thought. Zafar, just hold on to your thought and save some energy, because we have a caller from Bulandshahr who wants to take on Rohan. Go ahead, sir. Okay, well, probably we missed a very exciting debate over there. Now, going back to Sanjay, Sanjay, do you think this is going to turn out a gamble for Prime Minister Modi? Because, if we talk about, Shiv Sena's perspective, they have been completely ostracized. How do you think they will react to this particular treatment in the long run?
If you look at it, there is no gamble.
Let me at least respond to whatever we were discussing.
Zafar will come back. Go ahead, Sanjay, go ahead.
If you allow me to speak, then I'll speak. Otherwise,
Sanjay, go ahead. Sanjay, go ahead. Zafar will come back to you. We cannot let one individual, monopolize the debate.
What I'm trying to say is that there is the Prime Minister, and everything revolves around him. So all these ministers, say for 4 or 5, the top ones, they don't really matter very much. So there is nothing much to show. These people have animated the space in the cabinet. But I don't know what kind of powers they would be given, because there's so much
Sanjay, let me hold you right there, because the caller from Bulandshahr is back who wants to speak with Rohan. Sir, go ahead. Rohan can hear you very clearly, and so can I, and so can the rest of the panel. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I want to talk to Rohan Gupta.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, Mr. Rohan Gupta ji.
Yeah, ji.
Are you telling? Yeah. I want to know why this Priyanka Gandhi is introduced at the time of election. It is not based on, its purpose is not to win the UP election. What is the qualification and what is the qualities of this Priyanka Gandhi to introduce it at the time of election of UP?
See, you have rightly said, you are talking about Priyanka Gandhi right now. As you have told that what is wrong in reshuffle. I have told there is nothing wrong in reshuffle. It is a strategy of political party to take election on and give that. I am not against that. What I am saying is PM is not following what he is speaking. After 2.5 years of this government, inflation is high. None of the parameters, you name one parameter where this government can say, okay, successfully we have done this. Whether it is Namami Gange, it is okay, UP is the place for Ganga. You tell me what has happened on that. So I am not against reshuffle. What I am saying is a very simple thing, that when a PM who has promised such a big thing, and reshuffle is an opportunity to check your growth to promises you have made to the country. Nothing has happened in that direction. As a reshuffle thing, I was expecting even in opposition to have people who are competent. Even BJP has a lot of competent people. I would have liked to see some performing minister to be given cabinet, but that has also not happened. So question is not here about politics. Question is the purpose of reshuffle should have been development and growth, what is spoken by PM, which is not done here.
Okay, Zafar, you want to respond to that?
Mr. Rohan Gupta, you are advocating about cabinet berth for our ministers, Minister of State. But let me tell you one important aspect of Honorable Prime Minister, the way he interacts with his Council of Ministers. He evaluates performance. He is a tough taskmaster. He definitely gives responsibility, but he also evaluates the performance
so
of
Giriraj Singh has passed his responsibility.
particular minister and particular ministry.
Giriraj Singh is successful.
So
in evaluation,
if he
you just answered this question.
let me. His Giriraj Singh is successful in yes, he is very successful.
He is successful.
He is managing, but yes, he is successful in the ministry. The responsibility has been assigned in the ministry.
So he is following the development agenda and not caste agenda.
There are some.
He is not following the region agenda. He is following the development agenda.
That's something.
So it's not part of your evaluation process of your prime minister.
Following the developmental agenda.
It is not part of the evaluation process of your prime minister.
Sorry,
but the person who is dividing the country, who is minister and speaking
Gupta,
against particular caste and religion, he should not be taken at task. Your PM yesterday gives the statement that he is on the development agenda. Why he is not giving message to the country that he means what he
has
speaks?
the responsibility as a minister, which is discharging
the PM cannot speak something which he doesn't
need
follow.
To worry.
Why he has not taken any step against
saying
Sadhvi?
that we haven't done in last 2 years.
No.
Are you aware of the way you have? At what
is
state
fault
you
of
have left
Mr.
the economy
Raghuram
in
Rajan? You give
2014?
me in simple one sentence.
Every single
What is fault of
macroeconomic
Mr.
parameters was
Raghuram
in
So
bad
let us
shape.
not talk
Today
about,
we have.
you please don't explain
if you talk
the meaning
about
of good governance.
No.
or
You
minimum
talk
government.
about. You have
The
to talk about
purpose
in
of
every.
reshuffle has to be clear cut.
You have a fixated about. I told you you must
you cannot
understand the
take
meaning
decision
of
only
minimum
on
government
elections.
and maximum
You have to
governance.
follow.
I think
Country is watching.
you're still
After
fixated
2.5
about
years,
something which you have
where
not
are
understood.
Achhe din? Where are Achhe
No,
din?
you have not.
Okay.
You have not understood. Mr.
So people who say yes to you, they only understand the politics. Right? You will explain us the meaning of good governance. You will explain us the meaning of what is the government. No, please don't do that.
Okay. Let's cool the tempers now because we have a caller. We have Shami who's giving us a call from Varanasi. Shami, go ahead.
See, my question would be, there was this whole talk of that we'll have a limited number of ministers, and that is why it is minimum government and maximum governance. Now, what does it mean when you have 80 plus ministers in this government? Does it mean that that promise has now flied in the face of political convenience? What would that be?
Okay, Zafar, I guess you're in the best position to answer this.
Let me respond to that.
Yes, go ahead.
As per the constitution, we can have 15% of the Lok Sabha as a council of minister. So we have not. There is still some headroom available there. We can still induct more ministers, but that's beside the point. The number of ministers is required for a large country, and you need to have enough number of ministers to carry out the developmental agenda and the budget and the agenda which the India government has to reach out to masses. The benefit should reach out to masses. All this developmental agenda should actually benefit the masses and the rural population of this country. We need ministers to execute those agenda, and we need to have within the framework of the provided under the constitution. We are not exceeding that. But what the caller was saying about the minimum government, it's a minimum government has already been defined under the constitution. The maximum governance is something which we want to achieve, and that is what we are achieving.
Okay, well, let me go to Sanjay. He hasn't spoken in a while. Sanjay, the deft political balance that was probably ascribed to can be summed up by saying that they wanted professional expertise, experience at both the center and state, and they also wanted to keep regional interests in mind. Do you think such a statement would do wonders for the BJP in the coming elections, because they have been known to make some moves which have backfired in the recent months for them? Do you think this particular cabinet reshuffle is probably a promise that they intend to deliver no matter what, keeping the elections in mind?
No, if we look at the people who have been brought in, 10 states have been represented, so a certain amount of regional representation is brought in. There is a greater participation of the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, so that is a plus. So BJP per se is going to gain, hope to gain especially in the elections and otherwise when they have more people from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Governance also becomes slightly better when you have representations from people who belong to about 22 to 27% of the population. So that way it is interesting. But what we keep on asking is whether these people have the competence, whether they have the professional expertise to deliver on the agenda. If you look at the character of Mr. Modi's government, it's a very centralized government. I mean, most of the decisions are taken by the Prime Minister's office. We are not very sure what kind of work is assigned to the Minister of State.
So Sanjay, in a sense,
in all the governments, whether it is a Congress government.
Right, in a sense, if I read between the lines.
Let me complete my thing.
Okay,
what I'm saying that most of the Minister of States are never assigned any work. So they are largely unemployed and they're looking for work all the time. So I don't know how people are being judged.
Okay, how people are being judged, and Rohan, a lot of people from your party and the other people feel that since it is a government which is probably controlled and run by just one person, a cabinet reshuffle probably has no meaning.
See, absolutely, I agree with Sanjay in saying something that a state minister generally doesn't have a power, and unless and until he or she has independent charge. Today we see that only one minister is given cabinet berth. So my whole purpose of saying the things is maybe politically what BJP is doing, maybe they are right in their strategy. I am nobody to comment on that.
Right.
But the purpose of government reshuffle has to be to see, keeping in mind country's interest. The promises made to people of India. After 2.5 years, Modi government has opportunity to show people of India that they are serious about the promises made to them. But after this reshuffle, I am personally disappointed. There is no, like when they are saying that competent, you tell me out of these ministers, which minister has shown in past the competence by any act, right? People who have been okay, agree. We don't see that whether they are, we will see it in future. But people at least who are non-competent, who has not performed, who has tarnished image of government, at least they should have been dropped to give clear-cut message to other people in BJP that our agenda is development. That is also not happening.
Okay, Zafar, a lot of people feel that, this is not an NDA expansion, it's a BJP expansion. And the fact that, the Shiv Sena has been completely ignored, the rift and the fissures between, the two of you will only proliferate and expand beyond this point.
See, you can't say this is it's not an NDA expansion, it's only for expansion for BJP. Anupriya Patel is not from BJP, is from Apna Dal, is our ally. Shiv Sena was not being considered this time because there was no vacancy left for Shiv Sena at this point in time, and I'm sure that it is a prerogative of the Honorable Prime Minister to decide who he wants to induct in his Council of Ministers, who he doesn't want. So I think that should be left at the discretion of the leadership of the Shiv Sena and our leadership to decide who should be inducted as in the Council of Ministers. That is not something which is being debated with either in BJP or in Shiv Sena, and that is not an issue between the two parties. They are independently working on their agenda. We are working on our strategy, and collectively, wherever we are fighting collectively. Where we are not fighting, we have our own strategy, and we are pursuing that strategy. As far as the NDA is concerned, as and when the Honorable Prime Minister will feel that somebody from the other allied party or our partner should be inducted as a minister, it will be done. Like it was done in 2014, like it has been done today, it may happen in future as well. So there is no such feeling within the NDA partners that it was only meant for BJP and not for NDA partners. It was meant for NDA, and the agenda is for NDA, and that is what is being pursued here.
Okay, Rohan, coming to you, your party is also zeroed in on the candidate that's going to represent, the National Congress Party in the UP elections, Priyanka Gandhi. Definitely, this is a move that was, well thought out, well contemplated. What do you see? What do you see are the repercussions in BJP after this particular move that the Congress has made?
I think Zafar is the right person to answer this.
I want a critical point of view.
See, the point is, whenever any decision is made by Congress party, it is after contemplating all the factors, and it's always a mature decision. So I would await BJP's reaction on that, then give my comments on this. But I feel that the way Priyanka Gandhi has worked on social front or in Amethi and all. I think she has taken that much experience before coming to active this thing, and I see future.
Is it that, or you have run out of choices?
No, I don't think so. Congress has enough.
Okay,
choice.
let me get an independent voice on this. Sanjay, Priyanka Gandhi being the face of the UP elections, your reaction to that?
You know, the congressman had been demanding her presence for quite a while, but I am still not very sure it will make a material difference. In my reckoning, she has, it's not that the congressmen don't know her. She's been campaigning in Amethi, Raebareli and sometimes Sultanpur. Her campaign style is very personal, but I don't think she would have much to offer if there is no party which has no policy, or its politics is a bit diffident at the moment. So Priyanka can do well if the party is reorganized, re-energized, and there are more people coming in. Because I come from UP and I know exactly what has happened to the party. There's been total erosion from the ground. So you may supplant a leader, but in the absence of the organization, in the absence of the right kind of politics that can galvanize people, it will be a tragedy that her entire effort will go waste.
Okay, let's also get a closing reaction from Zafar on the question that I've asked Rohan as well as Sanjay. Zafar, Priyanka Gandhi's elevation to being the face of the UP elections.
I think Congress is extremely nervous for two reasons. When you are left with last bullet, last hope, last opportunity, then you don't know whether to use it or not to use it, because there is absolutely lack of leadership in Congress. They had in 2012 or 13, they said Rahul Lao, Desh Bachao. Then eventually now they are shouting the slogan Rahul Bhagao, Priyanka Lao, Congress Bachao. Eventually Honorable Prime Minister came in 2014 to save India. But for saving Congress, I think even if Priyanka Gandhi, I agree with Mr. Sanjay Kapoor that she will not make any material difference, because for two reasons. One, that she is known to UP people. She has been campaigning. She is a part of Congress, actively involved, actively campaigning in 2, 3, 4 constituencies in UP, and the whole of UP knows her. So there is a very, very remote chance that she will make any difference, whether it's
Zafar,
in Uttar Pradesh or elsewhere.
Okay, Zafar, I hate to interrupt, but you know, we have almost reached the end of the show, so this is the time we say goodbye to our guests. Sanjay, Rohan and Zafar, thank you so much for being a part of this debate. It was a very enjoyable one. That's all we have on current issues. We will see you tomorrow. You keep watching News World India. Thank you.